Welcome back to the Sibling Group Chat. I'm Owen.
And I'm Cassidy.
And today we are back at it with the Odyssey Review, episode 43.
Wow.
Heroes.
Yes, this is the 48th episode of Adventures in Odyssey. It originally aired on November 12th, 1988. It is a part of Album 3, also titled Heroes. And in this episode, superstar basketball player Lightning Livingston opens a sports store in Odyssey, but a scathing expose reveals more than mega fan Jimmy Barclay wanted to know.
Dun, dun,
Our
dun.
themes are heroes and hero worship. They are really creative with everything here.
Yes.
Episode, heroes. Album, heroes. Theme,
Heroes.
heroes.
In case you hadn't guessed, this episode has to deal with
Heroes.
So yes, as the description says, Lightning Livingston has just come to Odyssey. Chris doesn't even have anything.
She explains to us that there's this new sports store.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she doesn't have her own little thing.
Lightning Livingston has just come to Odyssey to open a sports goods store. He's a retired star NBA player. I don't know if they don't specifically say NBA.
I
but
never thought about that before until we're doing this. Like, they never say NBA, but that's just
probably
what's implied.
I'm guessing it's probably for copyright reasons.
I guess they just didn't want to say it.
I don't know.
But do we assume he's from Chicago?
Yeah, he obviously played for the Chicago Bulls.
Obviously, because what else would somebody in Odyssey do?
Well, because Witt knows him from being in Chicago.
That's true. So yeah, he plays for the Bulls, but he doesn't.
No,
not at all.
No. And actually at this time, because when did this air? In the 80s, late 80s?
88.
Right? Yeah, he probably played with Michael Jordan.
Wow.
Maybe in this alternate Odyssey timeline,
Michael
Jordan never existed. Lightning Livingston was the main guy on the Bulls.
He retired early,
That's
and
true.
that's why Michael Jordan is the famous man he was today. If he hadn't retired, everyone would be wearing Air Livingstons.
That doesn't have the same ring to it.
No, it
Anyway, a reporter and a photographer are at the opening of the store asking him some questions.
Frank Malone.
Taking some pictures, yeah. I'll wait till we get there, but there's a really funny line later from Mr. Wicker about the Odyssey time. So it struck me so funny.
I think I know what you're thinking.
The reporter is asking Lightning. Well, first, before he gets to the questions, he's like telling the kids, like, shoo. And Lightning's like, oh, the kids can stay. Hi, kids.
Hi, Mr. Lightning.
Mr. Lightning. Are all the kids in Odyssey this polite?
Yeah.
And he asks them some of their names, and Jimmy Barclay, who is back.
Yeah, this is his second episode.
Woo-hoo!
Welcome back, Jimmy.
And that's what I was asking her before she made me wait until we started recording to actually give me an answer. I was pretty sure it was his second ever episode.
Yep.
It'd been a long time.
It feels like it has been a long time. So the summer episode, I think, aired in June.
Something like that.
So it's been months.
Mm-hmm.
not doing math in my head.
He introduces himself as Bimmy Jarkley.
Bimmy Jarkley, which his friend Bruce makes fun of him for, but
I love Lightning's like, don't worry, kids, he'll get it eventually.
He's like, this happens to me all the time. Famous and all.
Yeah. Then the reporter starts asking Lightning some questions about why Odyssey. He's a big sports star. Why come to such a small town? And
which is a fair question.
Yeah. He's like, well, he had some friends there, aka Mr. Whitaker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that he had any other friends, unless he was friends with the guy who helps him run his store.
Bobby.
Is that his name?
Well, Bobby is the name of the guy taking pictures this whole time because Frank said something to him about it, but it's the same voice
as
the guy who works in the store later.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if Bobby works in the store, if he works in the newspaper, or if he works for both, but Bobby is the Will Ryan voice here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Got to figure out where that is in every episode.
Yeah. Yep. He's everywhere. And we're so close to him being here as Eugene.
Yeah.
We're inching ever closer.
Mm-hmm. And then he asked him, why he retired, because it seemed like he was at the height of his game.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I just wanted to go out in my prime because no use playing until you can't play anymore, which obviously we're going to find out later wasn't his reasoning, but I mean, it's a valid reasoning. There are guys who retire. And there's also guys who don't retire that should have.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, she's big into the sports. You should just listen to all the sports takes she has.
Yeah, they are.
None. See, she's
back
good.
to you.
Then he tells was it Frank Malone, that's his name?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to talk about his retirement anymore. So the reporter asks him if he has any plans with basketball in Odyssey, and he says he'd like to do some workshops with the kids there.
If that's all right. The kids, of course.
Which it is. Obviously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so that does it for the opening scene. And I I would say throughout this episode is very hard for me to tell if there's like hours or days or weeks in between the scenes.
That's true. Yeah.
Like it could
all be 2 days.
It could all be 2 days. It could all be 3 weeks.
Yeah. I would say it's probably all happens within the span of 1 week.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think it's more than 2 days.
Yeah, I think it's more than 2 days, but there's only one like yesterday reference.
Yeah. But anyway, Malone is now talking to Whit, so he must have known that Livingston and Whit knew each other.
Mm-hmm. Well, he seems to know a lot about this whole situation.
Right.
So
he's asking Mr. Whitaker some questions about Lightning's retirement, because basically what he wants to do is get to the bottom of why did Lightning retire.
He's clearly trying to dig up some dirt.
Yeah.
Or try to prove the dirt he's already dug up, but you know.
Mr. Whitaker's not really giving anything. He knows that they knew each other in Chicago. Mr. Malone is just looking for stories or answers.
Every time.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't do it last week.
That's true.
Last week.
Last
week for you, it was 5 minutes ago for us. Mr. Malone says there's rumors going around, and I love this one. Mr. Whitaker's like, even the kids around here know not to spread rumors. Isn't that right, kids? Like, yep, that's what I heard too, Mr. Whitaker.
Which, if you're listening in album order, the episode Rumors was not too long ago.
Yeah.
But an air date, it's been a few months.
Yeah.
But yes, the kids in Odyssey know all about the dangers of rumors. And this is at this point we realize Jimmy and Bruce have been here this whole time.
Yeah.
So.
And then Mr. Whitaker's like, if you want to know about Lightning Livingston, you should just ask Jimmy Barclay. You name the game, he'll give you the statistics.
Yeah. Which, after this, you don't hear Jimmy being a huge sports guy a whole lot after this.
He's always kind of a basketball guy. I mean, he plays basketball with his shorts.
That's true.
He goes to the basketball camp in that one episode.
I think of him more as the video game kid than the basketball kid, but you can be both.
He's a big Zapazoids guy.
Yeah.
But, he also likes basketball.
Yeah, he's fairly well-rounded in as far as kids go.
Yeah.
He also enjoys acting and writing, but we haven't quite developed that yet. So
it's okay to have a wide range of interests.
Yeah.
I played basketball and enjoyed acting.
That's true. Not many kids up to this point are well-rounded.
I never played Zapazoids growing up, though. I never had the privilege.
But you played video games.
I did.
Super Mario Galaxy is probably the equivalent.
Probably. So Mr. Malone is unimpressed. He's like, yeah, I met him earlier. Anyway, Mr. Whitaker, so what can you tell me? It was like, I'm not going to tell you anything. If you want to know anything, go out and talk to Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And then he states that the rumor is that Lightning retired due to a drug problem.
Drug problem? Jimmy is floored. How dare you suggest that his hero did drugs?
Mm-hmm. It's a touchy subject.
Mm-hmm. Well, even Mr. Whitaker, he acts shocked. Do you think he doesn't know yet, or he's just trying to play
I think
it off?
he already knew. I think he didn't realize that it had gotten
leaked
out.
Like he's shocked that he had figured this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the impression I've always got.
Yeah, because it makes sense with everything in the episode that Mr. Whitaker did already know.
Uh-huh. So at a later date is what I put, because I wasn't 100% sure. I get the impression it's at least a day later.
Yeah.
Lightning is working with some of the boys, teaching them some teamwork on the basketball court.
He tells them, you don't ever want to be hot dogging it out there.
No, never hot dog it out there on the basketball court. I'm going to have to remember that
means.
one sometime.
When you become a coach one day. You
guys are hot dogging it out there. Work together. So they finish whatever it is they were working on, and he says, last one to wit's end is a rotten egg. And Jimmy stays back, telling him, he's like, what are you doing, Jimmy? You don't want to be a rotten egg, do you? Jimmy's like, no, I just wanted to tell you that I think you're the greatest. And he's like, thanks, kid, but you're wrong.
God's the greatest. He's like,
amen, brother.
Like, well, you're the greatest besides him. He's like, no, there is no besides him. So what can I call you if you're not the greatest? You can say I'm an all right dude.
And then they race to wit's end.
And I won.
He let you win. No, well, yeah. But it was still fun. But anyway, at wit's end, Jimmy is talking to...
I think this is what's in at a different time.
I think so, too,
because he says something about after going to wit's end, he goes over to Lightning's house.
Stuff,
Yeah.
He's talking to Bruce.
I think he's still talking to Bruce, yeah.
Speed Reader. Sorry. The name Bruce makes me
down.
How'd you know my name was Bruce? Speed Reader. Anyway, back to Adventures in Odyssey. Jimmy is talking to Bruce about all the stuff he did with Lightning, and then some other kids, one being Howard
Wilby.
Wilby? That's his name?
Wilby.
There's some interesting names in these 2 episodes that we filmed
the
today.
last thing Jimmy says before Howard comes up, he's like, he's an all right guy. And I was like, ooh, he's an all right guy. I wonder who Jimmy's talking about.
Lightning Livingston.
We don't like Howard.
No.
I'm glad he goes away.
Is he in anything else?
Not that I'm aware
I was gonna think
of.
so. But anyway, he says that Lightning was a druggie and that's why he had to retire. And Jimmy's like, that's not true. Wham. Pow.
They start
Purse
fighting.
slap.
They start fighting until Connie comes to break it up, and yeah.
Then Howard's like, go ask Lightning. He wouldn't lie to you since you're such good buddies. And I love
Okay, I will.
This is one of my all-time favorite Connie lines. Like, Howard, there's dumb and there's real dumb. That was real dumb.
Yeah, that was funny.
One of my all-time favorite Connie lines.
Well, and Jimmy had a funny line before the fight when Howard first comes over. Jimmy's like, Howard, aren't you supposed to get to the zoo before
it
or
closes?
get back to the zoo before it closes? Yeah, which I guess is calling him an animal.
I don't know.
I guess.
Up there with all the Odyssey insults. We love Odyssey insults.
What does that even mean?
What's your other Neanderthal brain?
Neanderthal brain.
We love Odyssey insults.
Yes. Runt.
Yeah, that's a Barclay family thing.
Yeah,
Well, that's just a Jimmy and Donna one.
Yeah.
I wonder if Stuart ever got called Runt. We don't get to hear.
They
from
were
Stuart
too.
very often.
Donna was too old to call her younger brother a runt by the
It's
time
true.
Stuart was born.
They were already well advanced in years.
Yeah, that was way too beneath her.
Probably
Because by the time he was old enough to not take that too personally, she was like in college. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Jimmy ran off to go talk to Lightning, and he goes to Lightning's store, and he finds out that Wit is there too. He apparently has been there quite frequently because the guy working the guy who's like, "What can I do?" Oh, it's you. Hi, Jimmy.
Yeah. Just there all the time.
I mean, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jimmy says he needed to talk to Lightning, so he goes to the back because he's like, he's here a minute ago talking to Mr. Whitaker. I'm sure he's around here somewhere. Maybe he's in the back. And Jimmy's like, I'll go check. I need to talk to him anyway.
Mm-hmm. And as he leaves, Bobby gets a phone call about bowling shoes.
Oh, bowling shoes? Yeah, we've got a big selection.
Who's buying their own bowling shoes?
There are people.
Okay.
If you're serious about bowling, you'd want to have your own shoes.
Well, I'm not. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So don't judge the people who are serious about bowling.
Okay.
What if we have some fan out there who's serious about bowling and you just offended them because they have their own bowling shoes? It's okay if you have your own bowling shoes.
I'm sorry. Moving on.
So he goes back, and us as an audience can hear that, like, you can put 2 and 2 together that Wit and Lightning are talking about the drug rumors, and Lightning is obviously already telling Wit, like, obviously it's true, he made mistakes. He doesn't understand why it has to be a big public thing. Jimmy, I don't think really hears what they're talking about.
No, well, because Lightning doesn't even actually say it. Like, we're coming in mid-conversation. But
Yeah.
you can tell with context that's what he's talking about.
But Jimmy comes in and he tells, well, they can tell he'd been in a fight, so they ask him what happened, and Wit's like, that's not like you, Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
And so he asks, or he tells Lightning that the reason he got into a fight is because Howard had called him a druggie, and he's like, that's not true, is it? And Lightning's like, yes, Jimmy, it is.
No!
It can't be true. No.
Yeah,
And Jimmy runs away.
Yep. The end.
Well, actually, Lightning does have time to say he made terrible mistakes before Jimmy ran away.
Yeah. And then Wit says something about, like, it's going to be even harder after the paper comes out tomorrow. So, like, Lightning must know, like, sometimes, like, in newspapers, they will warn a person, like, just so you know, I'm about to publish all this dirt on you, but I've warned you. So, I'm guessing something like that happened.
Yeah. So the next day, I would assume, the story hits the papers, and Wit is talking to Connie at Wit's End. He's like, I might just have to cancel my subscription to the Odyssey Times for this. I can't believe they printed it.
Which I feel like later Wit, like, it's hard to separate the Odyssey Times from Dale Jacobs, but thinking of this without Dale Jacobs, I feel like later Wit would be like, I'm still going to subscribe to this, but I'm going to make my voices clear. We don't.
Wit would have just written another article.
Yeah, he would have, like, written a letter to the editor or something. He wouldn't just. I don't think he would be like, we don't associate with anything that does something like this.
I just thought it was.
It is really funny.
That line was in there. It's like, I just might have to cancel my subscription for this. I can't believe they printed it.
But thankfully, not long after this, Dale Jacobs takes over the paper and reforms them.
Get rid of Frank Malone.
Yeah, nobody
Goodness
likes
gracious.
Frank Malone.
Go away, Frank.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Honestly. But then Jimmy comes in, and Connie's like, oh, better be quiet. Here comes Jimmy. And Jimmy comes in. He's on an apologizing trip.
Yeah.
He has a list. He's people he's been apologizing to. He apologized to Connie for fighting at Wit's End the other day.
I think it's funny that he has to check his list again to remember he's supposed to apologize to Wit. Like, he came in only to apologize to Connie, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to apologize to you, Mr. Whitaker.
Yeah. And then Wit, he must be like put his list down or something, because Wit looks at it and is like, what about Lightning? I don't see him on your list. And
why should I apologize to him?
Like, well, for running out on him yesterday. It's like, well, I think we're even now.
And my parents don't want me to talk to him anyway.
Yeah. Which I think, I get the impression that Wit is a little bit surprised that his parents bought everything that was in the article. Like, obviously it was mostly true, but like, the article didn't address the fact that the Lightning has changed in some way. He'd become a Christian since then.
Yeah. I suppose his parents probably just didn't know.
Yeah,
like,
and I mean, it's
enough
fair
to think. Yeah, and I could see his parents probably being like, just don't, like, we want to figure things out before you go and hang out.
Yeah, and that would make sense too.
Yeah.
But then after Jimmy leaves, we hear a little bit of Lightning talking on the radio about.
Yeah, they just haven't had the radio on this whole time. We couldn't hear a thing, but Wit caught Lightning's voice. He's like, "Oh, turn that up."
Yeah, and his Lightning talking about like he made terrible mistakes. It was bad for him and his teammates, and that's why he retired, to get rid of it. He considers it a closed chapter.
He's recovering.
He's become a Christian. I think he says something about that.
Yeah, he says
it's between him and God.
Yeah. But it's like, well said, Lightning. I only wish Jimmy could have heard that.
Yep. Then when Jimmy gets home, his dad says there's someone there to talk to him.
Speaking of his dad, this is Chuck Bolte's first appearance as George Barclay.
The real George Barclay.
Because it's the second appearance of George Barclay.
I said that, like, you know, celebrities when they have like Instagram where there's like at the real George Barclay.
Yeah. I don't think George Barclay would be able to figure out Instagram.
No, probably
maybe
not.
Facebook.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I was just like the way I said it made me think of like when celebrities like the real such and such.
Yeah.
When Jimmy got home, Lightning's there. Jimmy doesn't really want to talk to him. He talked to Jimmy's parents before Jimmy got home.
And so his parents are like, it's okay, we want you to talk to him.
Yeah. So Jimmy goes in, he apologizes to Lightning, and Lightning says he needs to apologize too because like he understands why it was so upsetting for Jimmy. And then he has an actual really good talk. I enjoy this where he talks about like, Jimmy, are you familiar with the Bible? Because obviously Lightning is a young Christian. And Jimmy's like,
and
I read it.
I think it's good for Lightning too to show Jimmy this is something Jimmy probably knows more than Lightning about.
Yeah, and he's kind of showing Jimmy how heroes can be dangerous because heroes will fail. And so he goes to the Bible and he's like, I was reading the Bible and like all these guys like David, Moses, I can't remember who else he talks about. Abraham, yeah. He's like, I thought they were pretty cool. I even kind of consider them heroes. And I keep reading and they made all these big mistakes. He's like, I was really disappointed. But then he says that he's also made a lot of stupid mistakes, but all he really needed was Jesus Christ because he's the only one that's never going to let you down. He's the only hero that he needed.
Yep.
And I don't know. I really thought
it's a really good lesson.
Yeah. And so Jimmy obviously understands the point. It forgives Lightning and
live happily ever after.
Pretty much. Lightning even tells Jimmy his real name.
Melvin. And we never hear from Lightning again except for
the one Christmas episode he shows up.
Yeah, which is actually not very far from now.
No.
But I always think of them as really far apart.
Yeah.
But yeah. We don't even know, they don't even reference a sports store in Odyssey ever again.
Lightning just flew under the radar.
Yeah. I hope he didn't have a relapse.
That'd be unfortunate.
That would be really unfortunate.
I think he just destroyed the story.
I did.
Yeah.
But that would never happen in Odyssey. If this was like Hollywood, that's what would happen. This is Odyssey. So that is not what happened. Actually, what happened is he franchised, and so his headquarters is no longer in Odyssey.
Yeah, that's the original store, but he actually has stores all over the country now.
Yep, that's the flagship
Lightning
store.
Sports Goods.
Yep.
Yeah. They go outside to play basketball then too. At the end of the episode.
Yep.
And then Chris's outro is we can have faith in Jesus because he will never let us down.
He's
Amen.
our one true hero. Yeah.
It's a good episode.
Yeah.
It's a good title episode for the whole album. And I'm trying to think of how it relates. I know like the other day we had the episode or a couple weeks ago with David. And that fits that
Heroes.
I don't know that everyone would necessarily.
No.
But
and I think, is this like the only album that the
episode and the title are the same?
Other than like The Ties That Bind. The whole album is
The Ties That Bind. Another Fine Day, I think. Right? Or something. Isn't that the name of the episode and the album?
That might be. But this doesn't happen super often
No.
because I think it's hard unless you have an extremely thematic album.
Right.
It doesn't really work.
Mm-hmm. Like album 2 is very thematic, but it didn't have a title
Yeah.
of an album and episode. But I think it's a good title too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You have any other final thoughts? I feel like we went a little bit fast. Well, not too fast, but
Yeah, no, it's a good episode.
Good episode. What do we got next week?
Next week is Thank You God.
Is that a Thanksgiving episode?
Yes, this is our first Thanksgiving episode in January.
Yay. But anyway, we thank you for watching and or listening. Subscribe wherever it is you get our podcast and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. Bye.